Hello everyone! Welcome back to this game. When we last left off, we defeated Mr. Shine and Mr. Bright and got the next slice of the Star Rod. And now we are 31% through the game. Interestingly, my sister's file is only at 29%, despite the fact that I have not yet actually done anything in level 4. I guess that means that she missed a button somewhere. But we are definitely hunting for the buttons, which is making it pretty appropriate that our rank right now is Swift Hunter. Anyway, level 4, Grape Garden. By the way, if you watched my recent playthrough of Super Mario Bros., you may have noticed that for this playthrough I have not delved into childhood memories like I did with my Mario Bros. Playthrough. Well, that is because I don't really have many for this game. I mean, I definitely played this game in my childhood, but the only memories I have for beating this game was, well, beating this game. I remember beating it for the first time. That's basically it. So, yeah, no going into childhood memories for this playthrough. Okay, gonna drop that and let it expire. And be careful, cause this is another stage with UFO. And you gotta be careful as you go along, because it has more than one. Made it. Oh yeah, I remember this room. So, just for funsies, and because I can, and also because I like points, I'm gonna go ahead and destroy every single one of these blocks. Except the ones on the very top edge of the screen, because they don't count, for, I guess. There's something about my original playthrough of Kirby's Adventure from 2009 that I kind of want to bring up, but I think I'll wait until the next stream to bring it up, because it involves those of you who may wind up watching my original playthrough after watching this. You know, for comparison. I'm sure some of you are morbidly curious and would like to see my original playthrough of it. Just know that you've been warned. It sucks. That is, of course, the reason why I'm streaming this game again. For the first time. The first time I played this, it was just a regular Let's Play. Now I am streaming it. How unfortunate, then, that there really hasn't been much point to streaming this right now. I don't really have anybody watching at this very moment. I had Beer Force in here for a little bit, but he's at work and only was watching it because he was on break. Oh well, I can't complain too much. Par for the course for me, I guess. Oh wait, there's a person! Hi, person! Hello, let's see here. Hello, Menta85. Hashtag Kirby lover. Oh yeah, Kirby's awesome. I admittedly have not played any Kirby games since Return to Dreamland, but this is because I don't have any systems with which to play Kirby games since Return to Dreamland. Never got a 3DS because if I'm gonna be playing any games, I want to be able to stream them, and kind of hard to stream 3DS. And also, I don't have a Switch yet. So, no, what is that newest one called? The friend game? Whatever. Also, I just confirmed with myself that the small ones are in fact easier to grab, because even without being perfectly over it, I still perfectly held it. Kirby... what is the new one? Whatever. I heard that the newest Kirby game is a little disappointing for people. So, whether I would even get it, I'm not sure. Well, you know what? You're a Kirby fan, Menta. Have you played the new Kirby game on Switch? I'm curious what you think about it. By the way, a lot of enemies cannot survive in the water. They self-destruct. I am thankful that Kirby does not self-destruct in water. I've dealt with enough video game characters that self-destruct in water. I'm looking at you, Belmont family. Menta does not have a Nintendo Switch. Oh, that's okay, I don't have one either. My twin sister does, and occasionally she might let me borrow it. I borrowed it to play Super Mario Odyssey, and that was fun. She has the Switch back now, though. It is weird, by the way, to be borrowing a game system from my Switch. Let me try it again. It is weird, by the way, to be borrowing a game system from my twin sister. Not unusual, because this NES that I'm using belongs to both of us, and so we trade it back and forth sometimes. But it is interesting that the Switch is wholly hers, is what I'm trying to say. Eventually I'll get my own. Just to clarify, what I mean by this NES is owned by both of us, being that we are twins, we wound up sharing a lot of Christmas gifts. I mean, yeah, we had some individual gifts, since I'm a guy and she's a girl, but when it came to like video games and expensive stuff, like video games, we shared gifts. Let's see if I can win this again. That would be cool. I like how that as this goes on, Kirby gets a different weapon. First a regular gun, then a bazooka, lastly a cannon. And lost that one. Oh well, I won it once. By the way, I mentioned before that different Kirby games... Let me try that again. I mentioned before how Nightmare and Dreamland had different mini-games. It kinda still has the quick draw minigame, except instead of a cowboy theme, it has a ninja theme. Excuse me, I'm going to light this fuse by blowing it up. Because if it's worth doing, it's worth overdoing. By the way, over on my border that I've got set up, over there on the left, you probably have noticed that there is an icon for a cannon ability. That is an unused ability. I assume it was meant for when you're in the cannon, just as I was momentarily ago. I wonder why they didn't use it. I mean, they have a window that pops up for when you're beating a level. It also appears, one of them, there's also something. There's an ouch tile for when you take damage. I wonder why they didn't bother making it so that the, I'm stumbling over my words a little bit here, but basically what I'm saying is, wonder why it went left unused. This place is very windy. You know what, for the sake of showing off this entire map, or at least most of it, that door there is the exit to move on to the next area, but there is another that has good range. There is another door off in this direction. There it is. And the only way to get that is to suck it in without a power. So if you have a power in that room, just drop your power real quick to grab it. Menta is asking if I play Fortnite. No, I'm not really interested in that game. I generally don't play shooting games. That sword guy just totally defended against... Don't blow up, please. That sword guy just totally defended against my cutter. Boy, it is windy in here. And now I know why. Apparently we're inside the propeller shaft. And it is so windy in this section that you just get blown away on your star. That's actually kind of interesting. Alright, there's gonna be you. And get rid of you. The guy climbing on the wall, by the way, if you give him a chance, he'll throw a rock at you. Don't let him throw a rock at you. He doesn't throw it directly at you, he kind of just throws it in an arc. But more often than not, it'll probably hit you. Okay, museum down there, as well as an arena. Oh, but I like Cutter. I gotta. I find that hilarious in a tongue-in-cheek sort of way, I guess, that they actually give you the sleek copy ability in a museum. And then there's the ball ability. Let me explain this one real quick. Kirby can roll into a smooth ball. If you hold the A button, he will jump higher. Yeah, indeed. So, the way this works is, if you're flashing, that means you're invulnerable to damage and will cause damage. The trick is that you have to get enough momentum in order to cause damage. Which means if you, like, jump like that, you'll momentarily be able to cause damage. But most of the time, you'll just take damage because the ball kind of sucks, admittedly. That said, I'm still going to give it a shot with this guy. Wow! That actually killed him in 2 hits. And this is a glitch. I've never experienced this glitch before. I must have used the ability at the same time I was touching it, and then using the ability overrode it. Huh. That fixes it. That was interesting. No, Menta, I do not play Clash Royale games, or Battle Royale, or any of those sort of games. I just got that. By the way, while you're holding onto an enemy, you cause damage. And, hold on, for the sake of namesake, backdrop. And I think I'm done with this. Now we're gonna rush through this room because there's some birds that charge at you, but some of them won't spawn if you run through because there's a sprite limit. So take advantage of that sort of limitation. And now comes this. This part is fun, but tricky. Do not crash against anything. We're trying to race the explosion down so that we can get the 1-up. Like so. If you are even a split second too late, you will not get that 1-up. Okay, this will not be a good ability for the mini-boss here, so we'll use the beam instead. I don't know what some of these mini-bosses are called. No idea what this guy is called, so he's just a rolling guy. And if he touches you, he will grab hold of you and throw you. I actually did not intend to demonstrate that, but sure. Conveniently enough, this guy's copy ability is throw. Kirby can grab an enemy and toss it away like a star. Use an enemy to beat others. It's basically another version of the backdrop ability, except you just throw it. You can angle it upwards and downwards, but that's basically the extent of this ability. Not bad to have, though. Menta is asking if I'm playing on an emulator. No, I am playing on the original NES. I got my NES sitting right next to me with an actual copy of Kirby's Adventure. Me and my twin sister have owned this copy since we got it years ago. I'm kind of glad that the save files still work. Oh, hi Meta Knight, nice to see you again. This time you're helping us again, huh? Alright, help away. Okay, I'm going to need to do this a little bit better. There we go. Speaking of my twin sister, I would once again like to thank her for fixing the controller that I'm using. When I asked her for my turn with the NES, she made sure that the NES and controllers were working before sending them my way, and as it turns out, neither of our controllers were working. So she wound up opening the controller up and doing a little bit of cleaning, and now this controller works. Interestingly, I don't know if it was this controller or the other controller, but one of our controllers actually broke during my original playthrough of this game in 2009. It just stopped working on camera. What would happen is, somehow, when I would press right, it would also think that I was pressing down, and so that was kind of annoying. By the way, when you grab onto enemies like that, there is a time limit for holding them. You cannot hold them perpetually. Eventually, it'll throw it automatically. Just so you know. Okay, this room, I do not want throw, so let me get rid of that. Because I want this. I do not like this room. By the way, you probably notice how here and there there's doors that are kind of hidden, invisible, that sort of thing. You would think that this spot right here would be a door. It would be a very clever spot for a door, having the reflection of the door appear, but no, it's not. Anyway, the reason I want Fireball is for this segment. This segment is a heck of a lot easier with Fireball. Already up to 15 lives again. How many do I start with when I reset the game? Like 6? I don't know, I'm like getting 10 lives every level. Hopefully this will not be a mistake. It was not, but it had potential to be. Menta is asking where I'm from. I am from United States, the state of Illinois. I was pressing the button like a full second before I ran into that enemy. I was pressing the low water button. by the way, in case I don't get to demonstrate, certain copy abilities can be used in the water, but most you just squirt water. For example, and there you go. I mean, sure, it makes sense that you can't blow fire when you're underwater, but in like Kirby's Dream Land 2 and probably some others, you can breathe fire underwater. It just doesn't work too well. No. Alright, I wanted to use that pretty quickly because I want this guy. I'm gonna light up the room again for the sake of demonstration purposes. Hopefully I don't lose it. Hopefully I don't lose it. There, I used it before I could lose it. So, there's a hidden door in this room. So you see that door on the left? Look on the left, there's a door there. Pointing it out, there's a door. You don't need to light up the room in order to go in the door. It just lets you see the door. Was that my first death? I think that was my first death. And now I should proceed to go through the rest of this room unlit. Because I can. I mean, look how bright these outlines are. The only reason you would need the light ability is to help you spot the secret door. Because even the exit door is lit up. Alright, we got a puzzle here. You have to hit those in the correct order in order to knock the one-up up there. Menta says, you are a really good streamer, you win a follower. Thank you, I really appreciate that. I'm gonna go over here. Because that guy will probably hit me on the ladder. And that was a terrible jump. You know what? If I remember to, I need to show off what happens if you fail to press the button entirely. Alright, I'm gonna not want this, because we got our next boss fight. And for this fight, we want high jump, because this boss is kind of a problem. So this is actually a really cool boss fight, I think. You initially cannot damage Kracko at all. That's who that is, by the way, Kracko. We basically got a chase sequence. So keep on going, don't let him catch up to you, or break the cloud under you, except for this part. After a point, he just zooms on ahead and prepares for the true part of the fight, in which we actually fight him. And now the fight begins proper. It's worth noting, by the way, that generally using a power causes less damage than waiting for him to give you something to spit at him. The thing is, using a power means you don't have to wait for him to spit an enemy at you. So things go pretty dang quickly like that. Menta is asking if I have a YouTube channel. Yes, I do. I will go ahead and link it to you, but for anybody curious, it is GDGAMING. GD Gaming. For the most part, I have the same things on my YouTube channel that I stream here, because after I'm done streaming here, I'm eventually going to post this over at YouTube. But I have a whole lot of Let's Plays on my YouTube channel that I posted over there before I started streaming. Including, of course, my original playthrough of this that I did in 2009. Again, that playthrough is sucky, which is why I'm doing this playthrough now, because I want to do a better playthrough of this game than I did in 2009. Anyway, I am pretty much out of time for this stream. We're done for today. We managed to beat 4 levels, and there's another 3 or 4 to go, I believe. So, in the next stream, which I will be doing Monday, we will continue onward through Kirby's adventure, starting with Yogurt Yard. And unfortunately, I do not have anything witty to say about this place being Yogurt Yard. Maybe I'll come up with something by the time I stream next time. Until then, though, thank you guys for watching, and I will see you in the next one.